Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be covering some upcoming projects. We're going to dive into current market conditions and kind of see what's going on in the NFT space right now. Right now, there's a lot of token burning. Projects just aren't minting out, even if they have a decent amount of hype. So that's leading to a lot lower collection sizes. If we look at Dune Analytics, we're still seeing low volume. We might be getting some volume pickup as we see with approaching $70 million days. So we might be seeing the sweep or the bottom forming right now. But as it is, the meta could be shifting, especially with so much market saturation on all of these profile picture projects, such as projects that had a lot of hype but just didn't do well, such as Rare Bears. They only have 2.3k items. They had to burn more than 75% of their collection. I'm kind of glad these guys didn't mint out because their team was super sus and they rugged us of whitelist spots. Then we've got collections like AD Trainers, which didn't mint out as well. I think they cut their supply to like basically 999 items instead of 7,777 or whatever it was. And I could go on, but I think you guys get the point. A lot of projects just aren't minting out. People just don't want to buy them. There's not enough volume going into the space, even if they are pretty hyped up. And even me and my group specifically, we're burning plenty of whitelist spots left and right, and that's completely fine. That's what happens in a bear market cycle. That's why I said down here, you don't want to get attached to your whitelist projects. Get used to burning whitelist spots, because at the end of the day, the project that you're minting, those are the real winners, not you just because you have a whitelist spot. That is just a potential opportunity to make money, but it's never a guarantee. Just because you have a whitelist spot doesn't mean that you're going to get paid at the end of the day, but the project certainly will, even if they mint out and it flops. So with that being said, these are just things that you have to keep in mind as you navigate the NFT space. As we know, this is a very fast evolving, fast moving space. You have to keep up, adapt to market conditions, and so on. Now, before I dive into the projects, there is one last thing I want to talk about, and that is my alpha group Azeroth. The art isn't exactly finalized, but I wanted to get the Twitter up and running ASAP so that we can start growing and collaborating with other projects. Now, obviously, I'm going to plug this because this is my group, but you're definitely going to want to follow Azeroth on Twitter and turn on those post notifications, because this is going to be your best way of making it into Azeroth in the future. We've got a lot of plans, a lot of stuff we are working on, so there's going to be some great stuff. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into these projects. But before I dive in, as always, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Let's dive in. All right, so the first project that I want to talk about is called Blvck Paris. Now, the reason I specifically am talking about Blvck Paris in these market conditions where we're starting to see 10,000 not be the meta right now, and 3D is pretty much phased out for the most part, there is a few things about Blvck Paris that I really like and that I want to bring to your attention. And the first thing is that Blvck Paris did not start in Web 3. They started in Web 2, and I actually found out about Blvck Paris at the beginning, I think about February of 2018, so about 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago. And at that point, they weren't even the clothing brand that they are now. They were just an Instagram theme page. So we'll go ahead and check that out. And so going back, they were just an Instagram theme page. They had amazing engagement. I followed them. I liked the visual aesthetics of the page. Eventually, they shifted into a brand known as Blvck Paris, and their ecom brand did exceptionally well. One of the best performing ecom brands that I've seen in the space. And so whether all of that is relevant or not kind of depends, but at least it tells me, knowing and watching the growth of Blvck as a brand, shows me that the founder, Julian, and whoever else is working on it know how to execute, know how to market, and understand how to get people's attention and keep it for a long period of time, because that's what they did with Blvck Paris. So with that being said, this is a different meta. We're shifting into Web 3. Whether or not they can do something really unique or great is going to completely depend, but at least we have something a bit established to work off of, rather than most projects where it's just a random team that got together and they're putting together an NFT project. As far as the 3D aspect in the artwork goes, I do think that these look really good. If these guys were to have launched at the beginning of the 3D trend in the NFT space, then I would have said, yeah, this is probably going to be a banger of a project, just because the artwork is really good. It's established on top of a Web 2 brand, and like as you can see, they're actually wearing the black clothing, because obviously this is a clothing brand, so all of the characters and avatars are going to be wearing some type of black clothing that's associated to the brand. Now, the roadmap isn't exactly crazy, but I did talk to one of the team members, and they do have a couple of things that I like that kind of brings a bit of uniqueness in terms of utility to this project and to the NFT space. So for one, they want to make it so that your avatars can eventually be interchangeable with the sex type, female or male. And then let's say you are wearing like a hoodie and you want to exchange it for this hoodie instead of this hoodie, well, you might be able to do that and change out your accessories in the future on your own NFT. And then if we scroll down, we can see what I was saying earlier, where they have stores in Tokyo. Okay, so they've got one in Tokyo, they've got one in Taiwan, they've got one in, oh, they've actually got one in Miami. I didn't know that. They've got one in Hong Kong, another one in Taiwan, and Macau. So they've also been featured on Forbes, Entrepreneur, Vogue, and etc. So these guys are more established players in Web 2, now shifting into Web 3. So it's going to be interesting to see if and how how they can compete in this meta, especially with the new meta, how a lot of collections are getting burned. We're now starting to see 10K collections just being too oversaturated and not enough people wanting to mint them out, especially if everyone is trying to get a quick flip. So with that being said, I do think that this collection has a lot of potential, but it just comes down to the current meta and if 10,000 or 9,999 is going to be too much, and because they are 3D, if they can reinvigorate the 3D trend. But with that being said, in my opinion, these do kind of need to be 3D anyway because they are a fashion type brand, especially considering that they're wearing a lot of the Blvck Paris aesthetics. The next project that I wanted to bring up is called Isekai Meta. They have a locked Discord. Obviously this is an anime based project, and I'm definitely shifting away from anime based projects considering we're in a bear market, things aren't minting out, and the anime meta trend, whatever you want to call it, has significantly died out. But this one particularly caught my eye because I don't see this one as a hype meta play. I see this one that brings something a bit unique, at least in terms of the artwork, to the space, at least for profile pictures as far as that goes, and depending on what they do with it long term, that's a different story. But basically, if we hop into their Discord and we check out some of their sneak peeks. And if you don't know what Studio Ghibli is, it's one of the largest Japanese animation studios. They are behind the movies or films such as Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away. So they're super big in the anime space, and the people who are behind Studio Ghibli are like absolute diehard fans. So I could see something like this that builds a really unique and organic audience potentially doing well. Now, again, the only problem I have with this collection really is the fact that they are going to be a 10K collection. And right now, especially in these market conditions, I just can't see 10K collections doing all that well. Now that does obviously depend because for all I know, these guys could launch later on in a different cycle and will be more in a bullish sentiment type of market, and therefore the meta will have shifted again. But with that being said, they do have a ton more art styles that they showed me that I can't show you guys, but all I will say is that it does look really good. They have a lot of awesome traits. There's a lot of uniqueness to a lot of the characters, and I personally think that the art style just looks really good on this project. And to be honest, that's what this project is. They're not trying to say that there's any type of crazy utility. There's not some crazy game associated with it or anything like that. Basically, their whole thing is this space moves very fast. We intend to create a place where you can slow down. So, hey, everything's happening at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Let's just relax and actually enjoy the artwork. Seeing the artwork that they showed me that they haven't released yet, I actually really like. It looks really good. Then again, I also love the Studio Ghibli type animations, but I know a lot of other people in the anime community do as well, and they are typically diehard. So this could do very well just based on the artwork. Again, it's a larger collection, it's hard to say, but to say the least, I do like the art, especially the art that they haven't released yet. You guys are in for a treat. And the last project that I just quickly wanted to touch on because they're doing something quite interesting when they first mint out is called Kaiju Kongz. The reason I want to talk about this is because when you're watching this, these will have minted or they're going to be minting tomorrow. And essentially what they're going to do is on the first day, they're implementing a burn mechanism on OpenSea. And so the first day, the burn mechanism is going to be 0.05, meaning if you list under 0.05, your NFT is going to get burned. And that's going to double every day, I believe, for 5 days. And essentially it's going to get up to 0.7 on the 5th or 6th day. I believe it's the 5th day. So on the 5th day, if you own one of these and you list it for under 0.70 Ethereum, your NFT will get burned. So this is a project that I just wanted to bring to your guys' attention because it could be cool just watching. I'm definitely going to be watching. I think I'm actually going to be minting one of these as well. There's going to be 3,333 of these. Full disclosure, these guys gave Azeroth spots. They didn't ask for a YouTube video. I just wanted to talk about it because I thought it was an interesting function, and it will be interesting to see how it plays out, especially if on the 5th day, the burn mechanism is 0.70 ETH, and I believe these are a 0.06 ETH mint. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I will be talking about some new and exciting play to earn NFT games that are coming up, but I wanted to hop on a call with the teams of all these projects just because it is a game they are promising a lot. I wanted to make sure that their teams are, in-house. They're actually working on this pre-mint and all of that, but I do have a lot of cool stuff coming up in the future, a lot of really promising projects that we're talking about and potentially collaborating with. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.